Hey guys, so what's my fascination with horror? Why do I like the whites in my hair that makes me look like Bride of Frankenstein? Why do I always wear dark smoky eyes and black? Why is black my favorite color? Listen, I had to fill out the story of what started my fascination with horror. So here it goes. I was about 5 or 6 years old when Elvira started popping up everywhere, and she was on TV. She had her little show on TV. She would do her funny bits on the couch and show a black and white scary movie. And those movies were terrifying for a child, kind of, but you could kind of tell, like, I think when I was little, I was thinking, oh, like, that was probably done in a house. I could do this in the house and stuff like that. So for me, it was more about the production and how cool that was, that it looked so simple, which made it more real. But obviously it wasn't, because it was kind of funny how what we saw on TV at that point, even at 5 years old, was so much more graphic than the stuff in the 40s and 50s or even the 60s. So it was fun, and she made it cute and funny, and she was really pretty, not hard to look at, you know. But I grew up like wanting to be Elvira, and my mom started noticing that I would wait until she fell asleep so that I could turn on the TV and watch her. And when I mentioned Elvira, she goes, how do you know about Elvira? You're a little young. But then she came out with movies a few years later. So, yeah, anyway, my mom took a note, and she started telling me scary stories when Halloween came about. And she would tell me a story of La Llorona and try to elaborate. And I would listen out the window, and I swore I heard her calling and crying in the wind. And I would look outside, and you know, I was just like fascinated with this scary. Most people find it really scary, but it was like, I wonder if it's real, you know. Like most people, but I think because I was like 5 and 6, that is probably more unusual. But so yeah, there in the 80s was different. Everybody kind of liked Elvira and Pee-wee. They were the biggest, hottest things, especially for kids. And then when I was 4 and 5, Thriller was sold out for like 2 years. Nobody could get their hands on the albums. They were gone as soon as they came. And my mom couldn't get her hands on a Thriller album for like 6 years. It wasn't until Bad came out that she just could finally get she had to stand in line for a long time to get her hands on the Bad album. So Thriller was a huge deal here in Sacramento, and we missed out on the album, but I watched the video. Totally fascinated as much as anybody else. So, but then she goes, oh, she really likes horror. About a year passes. I'm like 6 years old. And Poltergeist is a scary movie with a little kid in it. All of the other movies, like Halloween, had happened. And it was about teenagers, you know. A little too much, my mom thought. But Poltergeist came out, and the little girl is in it. She's like, let's go see Poltergeist, because we had just seen E.T., blah, blah, blah. And we go, and she goes, I'm going to take Xochitl to see, so she can see what these types of movies have become today, you know, because she seems to really have a fascination. And I don't know what her deal was, if she was trying to punish me or if she was trying to see just how far this fascination goes. She kind of has always tested my mind and my limits to see where I'm at, you know. And she took me. Poltergeist starts. The first like half hour is not too terrible, but it starts getting really scary. And I'm like, with my hands in front of my face, screaming and crying. And take me home. Why are you letting me watch this? Why are you letting me watch this? Take me home. I'm just a kid. I'm only 6. I can't believe it. And she goes, oh, I thought you liked these movies. And she goes, how could, and I go, how could you do this to me? I'm just a kid. I don't want to. So I was so freaked out. But then my mom says, you're just a kid. So is she. That girl, she's only about 5 or 6 years old too. And I go, but it's not the same. And she says, oh, okay. And she kind of laughs about it because she goes, it's so funny because I have this fascination with these movies. And then there's this little girl that is actually in one of the movies. And there I am watching it. I just can't handle it. So I think she was kind of seeing, you know, like I like more of the innocent stuff at that age. But then shortly thereafter, I'm watching like Halloween, The Shining, and all the other scary stuff that was in the 80s. Like we watched Freddy Krueger, Friday the 13th, like for Christmas. I went to a visit for Christmas and all the cousins decided to watch Freddy Krueger. And I was the only one at that point. I think I was like 12 or 13 and I was the only one who could handle it. So everybody else left the room and me and my mom were like falling asleep to Freddy Krueger. Anyway, that's how my fascination with horror became.